Human behavior never fails to surprise, especially when it comes to bold, unusual, or completely out of the ordinary public acts. Whether it's for attention, a protest, or just an idea that seemed good at the time, some people pull off scenes in public places that defy common sense and often end up going viral. These are the public acts you'll be watching here today. A supposedly homeless man with mental health issues was seen using a janitor's bucket as a toilet in a subway station. In footage recorded by a subway rider, we can see the moment when the man appears and waits for the janitor to be distracted so he can approach the bucket, pull down his pants, and defecate right there. The janitor, busy cleaning somewhere else, doesn't notice until he's alerted by other people passing by. When he realizes what's going on, he confronts the man, but the man gets aggressive and goes after the worker, making him feel intimidated enough to back away. The homeless man then returns to the bucket and continues doing his business in the middle of everyone. A lot of people obviously feel startled and disgusted by this bizarre situation unfolding before their eyes. The worker is shocked and outraged because he'll be the one stuck cleaning up the mess in the end. The police were called to a gas station to contain a woman who was simply trespassing on the property and blocking access to one of the pumps so she could sell beer. The station manager had already tried talking to her and politely asking her to leave, even giving her the option to sell in that spot as long as she didn't block the pump. Despite the conversation and the option the manager gave her, she was aggressive and refused to leave, forcing the manager to call the police. When the officers arrived and approached her, she didn't back down and kept yelling and cursing at them, leaving them no choice but to restrain and handcuff her so they could take her into custody.
Police report about
you can get in that truck.
Because he's harassing me.
No, you're harassing everybody.
Can I have a police report?
We'll give you a report.
Mom, look how he's looking at this, Mom. Bro, can you take my...
Even handcuffed and being taken away, she remained aggressive and hurled insults at the officers, making it clear she was willing to do anything to prove she was right, when in reality, we know she was not. A truck carrying an oddly stacked load somehow managed to relocate an entrance sign from one spot to another without actually intending to do so. Surveillance camera footage shows the truck driving by with a very tall load. It was so tall that it snagged the entrance frame that held a sign for a street. Because the frame wasn't well secured, the truck ended up carrying it away. And when the driver realized what was happening, he decided to back up so the frame would be left behind. However, the frame ended up standing upright in a correct position, just in a totally new spot on the street. The trucker unintentionally moved the street's entrance frame, and of course, the video went viral on the internet. As it went viral, many internet users joked about what the drivers passing by later would think, seeing the entrance sign suddenly show up in a whole different location. A man whose vehicle got towed after some violations had the brilliant idea of trying to reclaim it while it was still on the tow truck, in a very unusual scene. In footage captured by a friend, we can see them driving up next to the tow truck carrying his vehicle. Then the man stretches out of the window, climbs onto the tow truck, hops into his own car, starts it, and simply hits the gas to get it off the moving tow truck. The car lands on the asphalt with a significant impact, but it keeps running, and the man, in a bizarre move, manages to take the vehicle back. The video they recorded was shared widely, and of course, it got a lot of attention not only on the internet but also on TV. In November of 2023, a video of a woman taking a selfie while a tsunami approached gained significant traction on social media. In the video, she smiles at the camera as the wave closes in, until she's knocked down by the water's force. Fortunately, she survived the incident. Some sources claim the video was recorded in 2021 in the Riau province in Indonesia. She was wearing a life jacket, which means it's very likely the incoming wave was expected, and she chose to stay there to capture the moment, even though it was extremely risky. Right when the water hits her, she manages to stay standing for a few seconds. Then she goes down and is swept away along with a few other people who were also there. She clings briefly to a piece of branch, but the video ends shortly afterward. As mentioned before, she turned out fine. In a recent incident, a News Nation reporter was doing a broadcast in front of the State Correctional Institution in Huntington, in Pennsylvania, when inmates began interacting with him, shouting responses from their cell windows. This unexpected interaction provided a rare, unfiltered look into the prisoners' experiences, adding authentic moments to the report about life inside the facility. It's very likely the inmates were watching the news from inside the prison, since they were too far away to see or hear the reporter otherwise, which is why the situation became so iconic.
There they are. I can't tell if you can hear this.
Oh, we can hear it.
Both the reporter on site and the anchor back in the studio were surprised by what was happening and decided to take advantage of it, asking questions to the inmates since they were obviously watching. That moment kind of introduced a new, albeit improvised, way of conducting an interview. A video showing a man dressed as an alligator calmly approaching a real one and even petting the reptile went viral on social networks. In the footage, the man wears an alligator costume, lies down on the ground, and crawls right up next to a real alligator. Once he's literally beside the creature, he sticks his hand out from underneath the costume and pets the alligator, which unbelievably remains still and doesn't seem to mind. Maybe it thinks another alligator is next to it. A friend was filming from a safe distance, and the scene quickly spread online. It looks like the costume really tricked the alligator, which just stays there quietly and even seems to enjoy the attention. Still, it's worth noting that no one should try this for real. The alligator could easily become suspicious, even with the costume, and attack. In August of 2021, a road rage incident took place in the state of Washington in the United States of America. A driver who was allegedly cut off by another car chased that car down and, upon catching up, hurled a hatchet at the windshield of the vehicle in front of him. The moment was captured by the dash cam of the car being chased and shows the exact instant the enraged man gets out of his vehicle and throws the hatchet, which slices through the windshield and ends up inside the car in a very tense scene. Thankfully, the driver, who was alone in the vehicle, was not directly hit by the hatchet, so no one was severely injured. He only suffered some minor injuries from the shattered glass. The attacker, clearly seen on camera, fled immediately, but the police were called, and after an investigation, he was found and arrested 3 days later. Because he endangered multiple lives and put himself at risk, he was taken into custody and had to pay bail, as well as cover all the damages. In July of 2024, influencer and disc jockey Nathi Rodriguez stirred controversy by posting a video on social media where she goes shopping in a supermarket in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, wearing nothing but a thong bikini. In the video, disc jockey Nathi strolls through the aisles pushing a shopping cart while being filmed. The post quickly went viral, sparking all kinds of reactions and debate among internet users. Some people criticized her move as inappropriate for a public space visited by families, while others supported her right to dress however she wanted. The scenario also ignited conversations about dress codes in commercial establishments and where personal expression crosses over into respect for public spaces. Nathi later explained that the supermarket was close to the beach she had just visited in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, so she was still in her bikini when she decided to stop by for some shopping and took the opportunity to create content. The supermarket did not comment on the situation, and the story spread widely. A cleaner was spotted sweeping and tidying up right in the middle of a steep cliff. Nobody knows how she was managing to keep her balance. In this impressive footage, the woman is shown walking on a high, sloped surface, sweeping as if it were any other place. Perhaps due to her experience and skill, it seems normal to her, but it's obviously far from normal. The person filming also caught people's attention because not only was he on the same steep spot, but he was walking backward while filming, which might make him even more ninja than she was. Rumor has it that the woman was hired to clean up the area, which was regularly used by adventurers who went hiking, rappelling, and climbing. Because people were using it so frequently, it was often left dirty, and she had to keep it tidy. In December of 2024, a man in Sydney in Australia found himself in an embarrassing situation when his tongue got stuck to an ice sculpture at Pitt Street Mall. The sculpture was part of a promotional campaign for the V energy drink to highlight a new product called V Refresh. On a hot, humid day, the man attempted to cool himself down by licking the sculpture, causing his tongue to stick to the ice. Despite a security guard's attempts to pour water to free his tongue, the man remained stuck for a while, amusing the bystanders in the area. The incident was caught on video and quickly went viral on social networks. V Energy responded to the situation with humor, warning people not to lick public ice sculptures and inviting the man to get in touch so they could send him a gift. An older woman, realizing what was happening right in front of her, decided to step in and confront two men who were in the middle of a theft. Recorded by the woman herself, the footage shows two men using a grinder to cut the locks on two bicycles and steal them in broad daylight, displaying outrageous nerve. This all took place in a busy square, and the thieves weren't deterred at all. They appeared to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs, which might explain why they seemed so unaware of the situation or the potential consequences. Unlike many bystanders, the woman chose not to look the other way. She approached them and filmed the theft so everything could be documented. Even with her recording, the men didn't care and ended up riding off with the bikes. A man wanting to film a funny video for social media ended up with a scene that did not go as planned. In the footage, he sets up the camera right in front of his bed, lies on his side, and strains to let out a fart. His plan was to create some silly viral content, but when he pushed, not only did gas come out, a little extra surprise came with it, if you catch my drift. From the footage, it's clear that he literally filled his pants when trying to pass gas. Well, even though that might not have been his intention, at least he did go viral in the end. Security cameras captured the moment a pedestrian was nearly hit by an out-of-control car in a shocking scene. In the footage, the pedestrian is walking along a quiet sidewalk when suddenly a car, speeding out of control, comes racing by and almost grazes him. He's clearly startled and tries to move away, but it's mostly luck that saves him. Just a few more inches, and he would have been hit head-on, likely facing a tragic ending. According to some information, though only rumors, the driver was intoxicated and lost complete control of the vehicle. Thankfully, neither the driver nor anyone else involved was seriously hurt. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.